Hey guys, Scourge McDuck or SMD here. Sorry for the delay on uploads. I was practicing with my team for TI qualifiers, where, spoilers, we didn't do too well. But if you'd like to buy private coaching on Medify, the link can be found in the description. Or if you'd like to support my team, we have a merch store, and the link to that can also be found in the description. If you enjoy this content and would like to see more, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Okay, so in this game I picked Medusa. I'm against AA Shaker, so those are heroes that normally want to initiate onto a hero and burst them. So Medusa's pretty nice because she's really tanky, so it can be hard for you to get bursted down. To start the fights, I'm also against Death Prophet, who doesn't do much damage to Medusa and has very high intelligence, so I can steal a lot of mana back by using Mystic Snake. And if I get the shard, I can bounce back a snake when he tries to use his E on me. I had 10th pick this game, and their 10th pick was a Void. I also saw an SF, once again, a hero who likes to... I guess right now it's pretty popular to do like the right-click SF builds, but in the past, and even with the right-click build, there's still heavy burst damage from the alt on SF. So, once again, just heroes... They're all really high burst heroes. Medusa's really good against burst damage heroes, because she can usually survive the burst, use her alt, and then, turn the fight very easily. Whereas, like, a hero like Anti-Mage or Faceless Void or something like that. I guess Faceless Void I can heal if he does survive the burst, but it's harder to survive the burst. Whereas Medusa can usually survive the burst and then turn the fight. Like, Bloodseeker can't really survive the burst. Juggernaut can't really survive burst. PA can't really survive burst. So Medusa's pretty good against the heroes like that. Like, other heroes that are, like, good against those heroes are, like, Wraith King, but I think he's a bit weaker in the lane in this patch against like a hero like Death Prophet. And then Spectre, who once again is just really weak in the lane as well. So I opted for the Medusa in this game. Don't really need a stick against Death Prophet Shaker, I don't think. It's a pretty passive lane where they just want to fissure block and play for creeps. So I just bought extra stats to start. Don't really think I need the stick to start. But Wand and stick are pretty good on Medusa, since you get the extra benefit of your mana turning into HP with your mana shield. So that can be pretty nice to get eventually, but I did not opt to start with it in this game. So I'm just blocking my wave here. I didn't really contest runes because Medusa's really slow. They do have an Earthshaker though, so maybe I should have been over here, or maybe I was looking and saw the Shaker. I guess we'll double check what happened here. So I wasn't really looking much, it looks like. But my Dazzle got it anyways. But yeah, the Shaker did not really double fissure block from base in this game. He just fissure blocked it closer when the lanes met. So lane starts, they fissure, they nuke me. Deny the range creep, which is really nice. Did take a lot of damage for it. Trade a bit with this guy. Use my mana. I have mana regen, and this also gives me mana back, and it also slows. So when this guy stepped up on Earthshaker on the side, I just nuked him and got some right clicks, so I did a bit of a trade. They were able to deny the range creep there. My support was late to lane. I think he was unblocking the small camp, but Shaker walked over. Actually, yeah, he didn't re-block it, so it's pretty nice for us. We now have a small camp to use as well. Nuke the range creeper, lost it there. Taking some damage here, tanking them up. They got a pull off, which is pretty unfortunate. I was able to get the big creep there though. Let's see if I get this one. This game was a few days ago. I don't fully remember what happens in the early game. But yeah, he fissured it, so I didn't get it. But it's pretty fine. We put a range creep off. Normally you want to do 2 creep pulls when you have one small camp if you're playing support. So you can deny like a range creep and a melee creep, but he messed up a bit, so we only got the range creep, but it's still pretty fine. So now the lane's not going to push into them or anything, and it'll be back and it'll be safe into my tower. The thing with Medusa, against a lot of these like common lanes right now, which is like usually melee 4s and ranged offlaners, is pretty common in this patch, is Medusa's really slow and pretty squishy even though you do have your mana shield, but you also don't want to like use your mana shield, because if you almost die and survive, you'll have no mana for Mystic Snakes or anything after that, and you'll probably still be low HP regardless. So you really want the lane to stay back when you're playing Medusa, so you can have your tower protection, and they would have to dive and overcommit really hard if they want to try to kill you, and you can just farm with your like ranged attacks. But yeah, but that's why it's kind of bad in this patch to play too much Medusa if it's not a good game for it. Because there's heroes like Marcy, Tusk, Earthshaker, Tiny, who are going to fissure you or toss you back or shard you or whatever. And they're just going to run you down with some Death Prophet, Batrider, Venomancer, whatever ranged hero they have on the offlane. Because you have really low move speed. But yeah, right now it's not the case. We have the wave back, and I'm farming pretty freely. So that's really nice. He does have some denies on Death Prophet, but I have one more last hit than him. So right now it's pushing a bit, which is unfortunate. I'm just nuking the creep because I realize it's going to push, and I just want to get the golden experience before it's too scary to lane. So right now, yeah, nothing to really do in the lane, so I'm trying to help my support secure a pull, but we were unable to. Yeah, right here, once again, the waves, they already have more creeps than us, so I was just sort of auto-attacking there to try and push the wave because it's going to push regardless. So there, I just want to get the golden experience and then leave and help my support secure the pull. And here we were able to secure the stacked pull, so most of these creeps are going to die, if not all of them. Most of them died. The wave's kind of back. Got the range deny there too. Yep, wave is perfect again. Yeah, I'm ahead of the Death Prophet in CS now. It's going really well. I guess I can point out what I bought after. Yeah, once again, I didn't opt for the stick right away, even though I did mention it's good. I'll probably buy one later. This game was a few days old. I don't fully remember. I have the Dota buff open on my other monitor, I think. Or maybe I don't. Oh, no, I do. So, I could check, but yeah. I mean, my support died, which is a little unfortunate after his pull, but I'm free farming. I don't really mind too much. Yeah, I do eventually buy a wand, but I just want stats for the lane right now for like the reasons I mentioned with my starting items too. It's just yeah, they're just playing the lane back. So stats are just nice. If they try to kill me, if I'm like out of position and actually in fear of dying, a wand probably won't save me. So I just want to maximize the gold I get. But I did get boots over the Gloves of Haste. Sometimes on carry heroes you can buy the Band of Elements and the Gloves of Haste before the Brawn boots. But like I said, Medusa's really slow. I don't want to just die for free or anything like that. So boots will help me potentially survive if I do get fissured and slowed by the Death Prophet. And I guess something else to note is just like I'm just getting faster treads by not finishing the Wraith Band. I'll finish the Wraith Band later, probably. Sometimes you don't even have to finish it. Honestly, looking at the Dota buff, it looks like I might have not finished it this game. There's just no real need to finish the Wraith Band in a lot of like the cases, or you can just finish it later. You don't really need it right in the lane. You can just get your faster treads. More damage, the option to tread swap for Mystic Snake is extra value too, since you'll pretty much gain all your mana back from using the spell with tread swapping. If you hit like a range creeper, hero or whatever. I mean, this shaker is disconnected a bit, but kind of whatever. The lane's back for this guy. It's going fine for them. They're not losing much. He does return. This game goes the distance. That's for sure. So now, yeah, lane's out. Shaker's reconnecting. I don't really want to play up to their tower for the reasons I've already mentioned, right? You're slow on Medusa. Even with treads, I'm slow. He has boots. He's faster than me, even with my treads. So I'm just trying to farm now. It's also 7 minutes, so I can farm neutral items, which will be nice. So I'm just efficiently trying to farm the jungle here. Got a stack there. Killed the camps. I think this guy, yeah, this was really weird to me. I guess he TP'd with it. It felt like his Exo didn't really accomplish much. I'm not sure what happened. So the wave's in. The Exos. I mean, I glyphed. I'm pretty sure I used the glyph. But then he just TP'd away. And then, I mean, I was just going to continue farming while he was Exo'd because it's scary. I mean, the Shaker has now shown mid, and I think the Death Prophet has shown top. Yeah, so I know bot's safe to go back. I try to stack it and farm the camps on my way. So yeah, I'm highest CS. My net worth isn't that high because the enemies are getting a lot of kills. They have 9 kills. My offlaner is 0-4. My support's 0-2. My mid laner has 1 death, I guess, as well, or whatever. But, you know, my net worth's comparable to the enemies. I mean, the Void's definitely ahead. But yeah, I do another stack there. I mean, I'm farming very nicely. I have a Yasha. I have gold for it. I think yep, I mean, I have it coming in minute 10 Yasha treads. Very farmed. No wand, no finished Wraith Band. But now I have more stacks here, and you know, eventually my net worth should start to surpass some of the enemies who have 3k lead actually at minute 10 in our 11, which is pretty insane lead for them. But I stopped farming ancients here to try to help my team if there was an engagement, but it ended, so I came back to finish the stack. Now they're diving again, I connect, I get a assist or 2. I got 1 assist, but I believe that was an AoE gold for the other one, and now I'm highest net worth at minute 12. Really nice, farming the stacks that my team made, also the stacks that I was making for myself, and participated in a kill and got an assist on another one. If I had the kill, it would have been nicer, but we got the assist still. Come back, gonna kill these before they spawn, because I'm not using like any nukes on them, I'm just using right clicks, and I'll get more gold by not stacking them, because you get less gold from the camps that are stacked. And I mean, if you stack for your teammates, you get the gold, but if you stack for yourself, you don't get that bonus gold either. So it's just less gold from you if you're stacking for yourself. So it's better to kill the camps before they spawn, which I believe is how that works, which is a moderately new change. But here they tried to pressure me, and I ult and run away. They do kill my supports again though, and I'm just sort of dodging the enemies. We are behind, so I can't really play aggressive on the top side of the map, and I'm just trying to get a really fast Manta so I can start sending my Manta illusions into more dangerous spots so I can get more gold. So I'm going to farm the safer spots on the map with my hero and send the Manta illusions to the more dangerous ones. So right here I Manta the bot wave and continue my way up to the Ancients. Gonna hopefully get another double stack here, and we do. So I mean, I'm farming really efficiently. But like my team is, yeah, we're 4k behind still, right? Like my team is having a very rough time. My cores are quite behind all of the enemy's cores. But I am keeping up, and I was highest for a second, and I'll probably be highest again after I kill these stacks. And once again, farming away with my illusions well this. My team took a nice engagement mid. I'm just farming though, there's no way I'm showing up to these fights. I'm a Medusa, I'm a late game hard carry. I'm only really gonna show up to the enemies overextending. So my team right there was the ones doing the aggressive play like under the enemy's tier 1. So there's no real like options to TP. So right here you can see, yeah, so I guess I'll explain. Some people go Dragonlance before Manta, and that's fine, but Dragonlance also has a much worse build-up component-wise than it did in the previous patch, so you can't buy a lot of those Band of Elven skins early, so it's a little worse, but you can just get a Manta and a Windlace and just farm really fast. It's just, like, you don't need Dragonlance for your illusions to kill waves. Like, it's nice for you hitting towers. I think you'll outrange towers with the Dragonlance, but I'm not really hitting towers with my hero. What I see lately is you can also go back for a Dragonlance after Manta or after Scotty, because that's when you start to actually fight and you can abuse the Dragonlance range. But right now, I'm just farming. My team is behind, so I can just Manta waves with a Windlace and just get really fat. So yeah, that's the other thing too that like I'll see good Medusas do, and I'll generally try to do it. But the lower skilled Medusas, I don't often see doing that, is not buying the Windlace. So the Windlace is just super value. It's like way better than a Quelling Blade, so if you're really starved for slots, you can sell the Quelling Blade. But, yeah, in this game, I'm not very starved for slots. I don't have the Wraith Band. I do have the Wand now, but I don't have the Dragonlance or anything, so it's really free to just get a Windlace slotted in here. So yeah, the tower there died to my creeps because I was cutting the wave, aggressively top with my Manta Illusions. I think I cut it with my hero a bit too. If it feels safe, I'll use my hero. So team's fighting. I'm not showing up to this. I have a dead hero. I have a dead core now, so I'm just split pushing. I'm killing all these waves. I'm highest net worth now. I've only participated in the 1 kill. But I tried to double stack this, but I think I misclicked there. But we still got the stack on the small camp, which is nice. That, oh, I actually do swap out for this neutral item. I was going to say this might be better than this. It's pretty close, though. The People's Gift is really, really nice on Medusa because you don't get any agility from it, but you get 15 secondary stats, right? So you get strength, which is HP, and you get mana, which on Medusa is also HP, because of the way Mana Shield works. So that's a really, really nice neutral item on Medusa if you're planning on fighting. But looks like I wasn't opting for it here. I mean, this one's pretty nice too. I do get 5 to all stats still. And I get 10 damage, and I get the extra attacks, which I'm not sure if the extra attacks work on the split shot. But regardless of whether or not it does, it's still really nice. So here I'm cutting aggressively with my Manta Illusions here. I didn't get the wave. Maybe did I mess up at all, or was it just not enough damage? No, they clicked pretty instantly. But I mean I could have used the Manta a bit later, maybe, and they would have had more time to attack. But I did not. But yeah, so that's what you want to do. Same with Terrorblade. I tell like my students when I'm watching them play Terrorblade, you want to cut here because it's really awkward for the enemies to want to go and kill your illusions. When you're cutting waves, you want to cut as deep as possible. So I'm going to constantly try and spam my manta there. But, you know, you don't want to always have the opportunity because, like, right now, all of these camps are farmed. So I don't want to walk over here to manta here. I want to walk back over here. So I'm just going to manta this. And I think that last wave was still not killed. So I guess he didn't deny it all. He could have denied it all, but he didn't. So, yeah, we're just trying to manta the new wave here. And, I mean, we didn't get all of it, but it's still pressure onto the tower. Like, these creeps are going to die, and someone has to show here. So SF's showing, so my team knows that they can make a smoke here. So even though I didn't get all the gold there, it's still, like, very impactful what I'm doing for my team. And I farmed all of the camps. So this is pretty unfortunate. Because we lost our lane so hard, we have no top tower. So it's really easy for the enemies to make this play. So like I was explaining on why Medusa is a good pick here, is exactly this, right? But because we're so far behind, we're 6k behind at minute 19, we have no tower here, they are able to do this play. But if they didn't have this tower and the game was closer, when they try to do this play, I get my ult off, and then my team reacts, and I live, and they probably end up dying some heroes. My team does react, but, I mean, they just lost their lanes too hard. So, there's not much to, like, do. And we have, like, a Windrunner offlane for some reason, which is, like, such a useless hero. If you're trying to win him or win pubs and you're an offlane player, certainly do not pick Windrunner. I don't know what this guy was thinking. Yeah, we're getting close to Scotty. Our net worth has been, like, teeter-totting with the voids for the entirety of the game. Well, I mean, the lane, he was super ahead, but after the lane, I got my Manta style. It's been teeter-tottering. They got a Roche there, though. I mean, it's still a really hard game, but I'm pretty farmed. Just took mid tower there with my illusions. Got the last hit, too, which was probably more luck than skill, to be honest. They were probably A-clicked because I was fighting. But yeah, I'm going to continue here. We're just naturally here because of what happened top. So they were all sort of top, so we went mid and then picked off these guys after the Roche happened and wanted to play for the mid tower with our siege. Actually, it looks like it was skill that I got the tower last hit, by the way. I sent my illusions and I saw it was really low. So that was a nice little play by me too. But then, so we see the Death Prophet top, and they just took Roche. So we're just sort of avoiding them now by playing this bot side. So we're gonna still have, like, we're just mirroring them, right? So they're up here, so they have our Ancients and stuff, and we still have an Ancients, and we can also cut these waves aggressively with my illusions. So this is a pretty nice map state for our team. Yeah, I take the Void's Ancients here. I also cut the bottom wave, and then I also kill the mid wave here, which is a little risky, to be honest. But the Void showing, the SF was, or I don't know about the SF, the Death Prophet was just showing top, and they have no, like, spells from the top engagement and or whatever. So I do go for this mid wave, but it was a little scary here. But the fact that I got this mid wave is super nice now, because now I can manta this top wave, and I can farm all these camps if I didn't run into the Death Prophet, which I did, or the mid wave as well. I can manta the mid wave, which is what I chose to do, which is better in this case, because it's just harder to kill the mid wave usually. And I have a hero who's already top. So by killing the mid wave, no one has to worry about it, and this guy's going to get this wave anyways. So had I cut the top wave, this mid wave would have been here, and someone else has to commit to it, and this wave wouldn't have been farmed, or, I mean, he's too scared, but nuked by him or whatever. So cutting the mid wave there was definitely a good decision by me. So yeah, they're trying to push the mid tower, and I mean, I'm really strong now. I have a Scotty. We're 10k gold behind. My net worth almost still equal to the Voids. And I mean, it's just a good Medusa game. So I certainly do not have to play scared here. We also have a full HP mid tower. The Void also itemized for a Halberd, so his damage isn't that high. And the SF has a BKB, so his damage also isn't that high. And so they have a bunch of, and another BKB on Death Prophet, so a bunch of low damage heroes against Medusa, right? Like, they're all burst reliant. And I'm just crazy tanky now with my Scotty. So even though they have Aegis and we're 10k gold behind, I'm sitting in front of our tower because it's full HP and just trying to defend it. Yeah, so I mean, dodge the A out here too. We get a nice shackle, able to burn the Aegis, I think. Getting a little low here, or pretty low I would say, not even a little low. But yeah, I mean, we're just super tanky. We farmed really well, we cut waves really well. Like, we were forcing heroes to show, so my team was able to do a few okay plays after their really poor laning. And yeah, I'm just defending this tower even though we're 10k gold behind because I picked a good hero and I played well with farming. And I have a Scotty, so I don't really have to be scared. Get a nice grave here, so our Pengu's going to live and we're going to get a return kill here, which is really nice. And we're actually going to chase. I think the Death Prophet dies here. Oh, we forced a BKB, which is just as good. Void's getting low. Ulting here. Gonna kill the SF, it looks like. I mean, I'm just really strong in this game. I'm level 19 now. I'm the highest level in the game by a fair margin. This guy's godlike. I get another kill here. We miss our shackle, which is really unfortunate. But I think we kill him. Or I guess not. Or no, I think we did. Yeah, because he turned here. They buffed back here too, but I mean, it's just going really nice right now. There's not too much like super high level stuff going on other than that. I farmed well and I picked a good hero, and now I'm strong. Even though we're so behind, it's just a really like nice Medusa game, and I was able to keep up my farm even with how poorly our top and mid lane went. So I'm buying Butterfly here just because they have SF Void, very high physical damage, and I already have Scotty, and I'm already pretty unkillable. So it's just a dual item. It's like survivability and damage. It just helps me survive through the chrono and things like that too. Like I could get a Daedalus if I just wanted full damage. So it's definitely like a bit in the middle. It also is better for Daedalus for killing waves with Manta Illusions, and we're still kind of behind. So having strong Manta Illusions is pretty nice. So here they go on me. My ult was a little bit early, maybe a bit panic of an ult, but he has Chrono, and I didn't want to get Chronoed without getting my ult off. So I used it a bit preemptively, but it's fine. I lived. Now we just want to play slow a bit, and I want to finish my item and cut waves with my Manta Illusions. Force another BKB here, which is really nice. Another good thing about Medusa in this game is like I don't need to buy a BKB because of like the way my hero works. Usually you can get away without buying BKB because you're so tanky already, and you can opt for more damage. But we also have a Pango who doesn't really need a BKB, and we have this Windrunner who I guess is gonna need to buy one. But so like all these fights, like we can use our Pango roll just to force BKBs, and it's just such a good trade for us because the roll's up before the BKB's up, so we can potentially get kills with the secondary roll. And even if we don't find any kills with the secondary roll or whatever, their BKBs are just going to be shorter, and it'll be easier to win the later fights. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, just trying to kill heroes here. Got another kill. It's not even really like the enemies are throwing. They haven't done any real crazy dives. I just farmed really well, and we were able to defend our mid tower. That's like the biggest thing. Like they took the top tower on the enemies on the Dire, but they never took our mid tower. So by the time I hit my item timings, our tower was still full HP mid, and we're just able to defend it. And it's still alive. It's still pretty healthy too. So yeah, we're just running at them now. We're just fighting them. It's just, yeah, really, we're just strong. We're still behind gold, but it's just a really good Medusa game, and I'm highest net worth and highest level. I'm almost level 25 at minute 30. Now I do opt for the Daedalus. Now just like I have, like I mentioned, my items are all like both aggressive and defensive. They're like in between, right? Like a BKB is pretty much full defensive, but my items are all like in between. Scotty is nice for killing and fighting, but also gives you a lot of HP. And like I've mentioned, like with like the apple, people's gift or whatever, it gives you health and mana and all stats, which gives you more health and mana, which gives you more effective HP. And Manta, once again, it gives you health, it gives you strength, gives you agility. It also helps you push. It also gives you a dispel in team fights. And Butterfly gives you evasion as well as agility. So my items are all like hybrid damage survivability. So now I feel like I can opt for just pure damage with the Daedalus. Sometimes you can opt for Aghanims when you feel like you need more stuns. And sometimes you can opt for a Blink if you just need more mobility, because my move speed is still pretty slow on Medusa here. But yeah, I mean, the enemies are just trying to fight. They're probably starting to feel pressured that like I'm so strong, and they feel like they need to force fights here. And I mean, I'm just so strong that it's pretty hard for them to just force fights that are going to be good for them. So they end up forcing fights that they lose, which just gives us more of a lead, and we can play for more Roches, cut more waves. Yeah, so as you can see, though, I did never finish that Wraith Band. I guess I'll mention, I mean, my skill build and talents. I know I'm pretty sloppy at doing this in some of these videos. I don't really do it at like a set time. I just do it pretty randomly when I realize I should do it. But I went Mystic Snake, maxed, or you get 3 points in Mystic Snake just because the 5 jumps is usually enough in lane for the 4 creeps and the 1 hero that you're going to hit. So you're never really going to use all 6, and the jungle creeps don't really have 6 unless you're farming stacks. So it's usually best to get Split Shot maxed with 3 in Mystic Snake. Some people will go Mystic Snake after Split Shot is maxed and get the last point, but I normally opt for having maxed Mana Shield before I get the last point in Mystic Snake, which is, I guess I have the other monitor, and I'll just double check what I did. So that is what I did in this game. So I maxed Mystic Snake at 14, which is what I usually prefer, but some people like to max it out at 10. or 11 rather, I guess, with her talent potentially. Actually, the talents were kind of nerfed too. So I went from my talent at 13, it looks like, after I had my E maxed. And come to think of it, well, it gives you bonus mana. But the talent might be better than a point in mana shield, if I'm going to get this one anyways. But yeah, I'm not sure level 10 talent's better because they just changed it. I forget what it used to be. I think the Mystic Shot damage penalty was at 10 before, and you got attack speed at 15 or something like that. But both level 10 talents are pretty bad in my opinion. But I like just the be tankier. I don't think the turn rate slow does too much, to be honest. And then the damage penalty is just better for right clicking. You're not really using Mystic Snake, even if you are buying the Ags, which I mentioned. Like it used to be a lot better. Your talents used to have like longer cooldown, minus cooldown for your Mystic Snake, and it was like at a later level, at like level 20. But 2 seconds, I don't think is that big of a deal, especially if you have like the shard and you're gonna like be throwing back these Aghanims Mystic Snakes with when they target spells on you or whatever, the single target one on a 12 second cooldown as well as this one. I feel like the 2 seconds just is not enough, and you're gonna be abusing this split shot damage penalty throughout the entirety of the game while you're killing creeps and heroes. So even if you are buying the Ags, I would always take the one on the right at 15. And then once again, two more bounces, like 6 is enough in late game fights. Like you're not going to be bouncing 8 times. It's just, I would never take that one. 2 seconds stone gaze duration. I think that used to be level 25 talent, and it was like, I mean, you always had the modifiers one, so you would still never take it. But I mean, it's at 20 now, which is just, it's crazy good. It goes up to 8 second duration here. It's really nice. And level 25, you pretty much always want the split shot uses modifiers as well. It's I'm trying to check. I guess I can't look at the, oh, here's the extra info. The duration of the stun is not affected, and allows on-hit effects to apply to the secondary attacks from split shots. Yeah, so like at level 25, it wasn't on the left. It just like makes your Scotty and your Daedalus and your lifesteal, and you can go like Maelstrom, and that'll proc on all your attacks and more of your attacks or whatever as well. It's just crazy good. So yeah, I mean, I would personally never do any talent build other than the one that I did. But yeah, the skill build, normally you just get mana shield at level 2. You're not really going to use split shot in lane. So you get 1 value point in mana shield, you get 3 points in your Mystic Snake, then you max your Q, max your mana shield. In hindsight, you probably want the talent. I mean, the mana's nice for just farming. You do get 60 mana, and you're using Snake and stuff like that. So I don't know if it matters that much. It is slightly more damage per mana than a skill point, getting the talent, but you can do whatever on that. The order isn't that big of a deal, as long as you do 3 point Mystic Snake, max split shot, and at level 2 you skill mana shield. And your ult too. Your ult, I don't know. I got it at 9 in this game, and then 16, 18. Yeah, I don't think you really need to get the other 2 points that early. The duration goes up by 0.5 seconds each point, and you get 10% more bonus physical attack damage. The mana cost and the cooldown stay the same, and the speed boost stays the same. And the stone duration stays the same. So, I mean, I prefer to just have my other abilities maxed out. But yeah, so we killed them all bottom. I mean, that was a long rant about that stuff. But, gonna take Roshan now. Gonna take the shard for myself, and hopefully get an Ags from the next Rosh, or buy my own if I feel so compelled. But in this game, we have a Pangolier, we have a Tiny, we have a Shackle shot from Windrunner, and we have Dazzle Shard most likely, which we do. So we're pretty nice on stuns, to be honest. So I don't really need to buy my own Ags, and I can just hope that I get one from Rosh. But yeah, even if I don't get an Ags, getting the Mystic Snake, like I mentioned earlier on the Death Prophet especially, or I guess in this case, there's not too many heroes. It doesn't really do much to Shaker, Void, or SF. But if the AA uses his Q on me as well, he's an nth hero, so I will gain a fair amount of mana back. But it's really nice against the Death Prophet using his Spirit Siphon. I just get a ton of mana back if he casts that on me. And in a way, like, because the like agility heroes on his team, his right-clicking cores, don't have single target abilities, I will almost always be using my cold-blooded passive on the Death Prophet. So it's not really ever going to get wasted. But yeah, we do take a really bad fight here after Roche. I'm really strong and have Aegis, so I'm sort of trying to lead the charge for my team. But I guess our Pangolier got caught out trying to de-ward before I was up on the high ground. So we're just playing the fight down a core hero. Yeah, I was really lucky to be alive here, I thought, because I guess he used his W. So,
Double kill.
I mean, it's coming back up. I guess I should have TP'd sooner. I guess I thought I could walk down the fissure. Yeah, if I TP'd right away, that would have been just a good play by me. But because I didn't, I was pretty scared. But I was just fissure blocked, and then yeah, I noticed too late, and he walked away. So I got pretty lucky that he walked away, to be honest. But he could have capitalized really hard on me, like misplaying there. And also, I like bugged out the game a bit. My hero's like flying. I'm gonna rewind just to fix that. Yeah, so I mean, I got out with Aegis. I have a completed data list now. It's not the end of the world. We have, I'm going to rewind actually to look at gold lead. So we did have a 3k gold lead after this, so our team has finally taken the gold lead. But once again, my teammates are all still below the enemy's like cores, like their equivalent, other than my supports actually are ahead of the enemy supports. But our cores are still pretty behind. And I mean, Medusa does take a lot of farm on the map by like mounting waves and things like that. But like I said, I also give vision for my team to make plays. Like I make heroes show on the creep waves by pushing the waves in, so they can do plays. But it's like, it's just because they lost their lanes pretty much that they're behind. Like, look, their CS isn't even that far compared to these guys, and mine's really ahead. Like there are creeps on the map for them to farm. It's mainly just like the laning situation that happened that is the reason they're behind. It's not really like I'm taking much, but I am taking some. But like, you know, I'm like owning really hard with the farm that I'm taking. I defended our mid tower. I got Roshan's. I showed up to fights. I cut waves. And if they just played their lanes better, they would have been like in good situations, or picked better heroes for their lanes or whatever. Yeah, just running out heroes here. I think that SF should have died. My Pangolier was slow to react on his spells and stuff, which would have been really nice for the SF. My Windrunner died in no man's land, but I still have Aegis, so I'm trying to siege. It's pretty unfortunate that our Windrunner's dead here right now, and our Pangolier does get gone on too. He does get graved, but he's very low for this fight. He does get roll off though, and I had a nice ult, but no one really bursted in it. Being disarmed now. Our Dazzle got back. Yeah, I mean, we just had no Windrunner here. Honestly, maybe I shouldn't have been hitting high ground with no Windrunner. But, you know, the Windrunner had, like, no reason to be dying, and I still am really strong and kind of want to try and force things. Lifesteal item with level 25 is really nice. Really, really nice item here to get. I already have a Butterfly, don't really need more evasion. But, I mean, the evasion's nice as well anyways. But, really nice to get this lifesteal item. I have Daedalus now, too. I hit really hard, so I'll heal for a lot. Still sieging, even though we kind of died. We bumped back on our Dazzle. Our Windrunner has now spawned. They're trying to cut us off from behind because they don't want to just run at the Medusa with Aegis. So they're looking for the backline. And I come to try and save them, and the enemy's backed off. So now my team's positioned behind me, and the enemies have no angle to get behind and go on our supports, so we're able to do siege. Have Aegis here for 13 seconds. I believe they kill me, which is actually pretty lucky that they committed. Yeah, right here, like, I think they were sort of trying to stop hitting me, but the SF, like, didn't. And I was, like, running into them to try to get them to kill me. Yeah, I was, like, running back into them to try to get them to use the Aegis, and got really lucky that they got used. So now I'm able to spawn. I'm able to get my ult off before, because the SF wasn't able to ult because the Dazzle used his Q on him and hexed him. I do get feared here, though. I think I actually do end up dying here, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, the shard just got me. And then this is where I felt really bad. I think I bought this item before I died, so I can't sell it. I think that's what I just tried to do with my cursor in the game. Yeah, so look, I buy it, and then I check that I don't have buyback. I have no buyback because I bought it, and I can't sell it because I bought it before I died. So yeah, you can see I'm spam pinging this rune so I can get a buyback, and I'm drawing an arrow on the minimap. I really want to be able to get buyback, and then I am very close to it now. I have it on 30 gold, so I'll have it before they're at the high ground if it comes to that. So it's okay now. And then, yeah, I was honestly kind of scared for this guy cutting waves. I think he can just power shot defensively now because I have buyback. So worst case scenario, I'll be able to buy back. But he's playing pretty psychotic in my opinion. But pretty bad overall, to be honest, because we did have the Aegis there. And we got one melee racks, but our carry died, our highest net worth carry, and I mean, it was all just sort of because of the way the Windrunner started. The enemies are doing like some creative plays trying to get on our backline as well, which helps. But I mean, we got kind of lucky that like you know, I had like the Aegis time out or whatever, or like they killed it before it timed out, I mean, and I was able to get my ult off, so I was able to buy like a lot of time before I died, which means it's going to take longer for them to push, which means, you know, I probably won't have to buy back and things like that. But, yeah, also, I think this Maelstrom was a bit of a bait. The reason I bought it is because I was watching AUI's stream, and if you don't know AUI 2000, he won TI5. He's a really high skilled player, and I like respect his opinions a lot. And he was saying how Maelstrom and Mjolnir, or whatever however you pronounce it, is like the best DPS item on Medusa when you're level 25, because the split shot using modifiers means you're pretty much going to proc a chain lightning on every auto attack that you do. And then you also have the shield to put on yourself, so if they're trying to commit and burst you, you'll be proccing a lot more extra chain lightnings. So I buy this item honestly probably too much on Medusa just because of like one AUI thing, like quote I heard him say on a stream one time. And the reason I think that I buy it too much is I have Daedalus. I don't think you really need damage at this point, even if it is true that it's the most, which I'm not even sure, but I'll take him at his word. But so even if it is true and it is the most like DPS item at level 25, I just don't think you need damage that often at level 25 on Medusa. I feel like you normally have enough with the other items you've previously purchased in the game. So I think like I should have had a BKB here instead of this, and I end up queuing it up before even wanting to finish this Mjolnir because I'm like realizing that now. And like I said, you can normally get away with buying an early BKB on Medusa, but like it's late game, they have stuns, they have fears, they have slows. BKB is just nice. So they look for the rune, we were smoked, we get a nice pick off here. We roll in and look for more. Find another kill here. I went to the top wave and Roche is spawned too. So we get a Roche here. I believe we get, oh yeah, I was gonna say, in my memory, I thought we got the Ags in this game, but I never get the Ags on the third Roche. I don't know if you guys have that same experience, but I swear it's always Refresher on third Roche. So it is Refresher, but I have an Aegis now. I'm gonna have to backpack my boots for it. So cutting waves is getting a bit harder now. As I mentioned, Medusa is really slow, so now I have no more wind lace. I still have my Manta, but I have no boots in, so my move speed is getting pretty low. So it's gonna be harder for me to cut waves. Sieging top just because it's convenient, and I'm really slow. So like, yeah, there's a tier 3 here, but it dies pretty quickly, and it's just where we are. It's just convenient, and it dies quickly, and I'm slow. So we don't really want to be running around to these lanes because I'm so slow. So we're just sieging top here. But yeah, we're really strong. Having my team sit behind me, manted off the cold feet. Can't really run away from it because I'm super slow, as I mentioned. No boots. Now my mantis cool down, I'm missing a bit of mana, so we're trying to chill a bit. We find an AA on the side. They solo, so this is where this game gets like weird. I mean, the whole game's been pretty weird. My team's kind of been feeding and I've just kind of been owning, and then I died on high ground. But so they're chronoing our Dazzle because like I said, they can't really burst me, especially now with an Aegis. And if they do try to go on anybody else, the Dazzle will also grave them if they're killable. So he tries to chrono the Dazzle, but he's chronoing our 5th position, lowest net worth hero in the entire game. Their highest net worth hero is chronoing our lowest net worth hero, which is just like absurdly good for us. But what happens here is my team just splits up very far, and like I said, I have no mobility anymore. I have no treads, I have no blink dagger, I have no BKB, so I'm getting chain stunned, and the fight's just really awkward and split. And you know, just look at how split the fight is. My team just gets picked off while I can't attack anything. So my team just needs to play around me. And I believe I did tell them that after this fight. I don't talk a lot in my pubs usually, but I think I did say, hey guys, just play around me. I am not mobile. I cannot, like, fight. Yeah, so they ended up killing me twice after. Maybe I stayed too long hitting those, like, neutrals a bit. But, you know, I have, like, Aegis. I thought I was stronger than I am, clearly. But yeah, they do end up killing me twice, so the game's getting really awkward. Like, oh, we got Aegis. It feels so bad. We should be so strong. I think I typed it there, probably. Hey guys, play together. Play around me. I cannot chase heroes with you. Just sit around me. Like, it's so easy, especially when they chrono R5. Like, if we just, like, are grouped around my hero, the enemies cannot fight at all. They get a nice pick on the Shaker though while I'm dead, so we have a 70-second window to do something, but our waves are pretty bad because we were all just dead. So I'm trying to man to the top wave, walking down the mid lane. So you can see, even though we've been down gold most of the game, and just took some bad fights. Like, I'm playing pretty aggressive on the map the entirety of the game, and the reason that is just because it's a really nice Medusa game, and I'm highest net worth in the game. I'm not really playing that passive, even though it looks like a hard game. So we find a nice fight here, which is like, I mean, I guess I'll see how it started. It's probably nothing special. I guess we smoked, actually. We smoked and killed the people in the mid wave. Got a really nice initiation, honestly, on 2 supports, so they weren't really able to use... I think he used Echo Slam, but it didn't look like it really did much. Looks like they used AA Blast too, but I don't think it did much either. I guess it's on me, but like I said, Medusa is really nice in AA, he can't really do much to me. A bit scary with his AA ult on me, honestly. This is... yeah, the closest to... I mean, we still have the Dazzle Grave, potentially. Maybe he's getting zoned by the Death Prophet, but was able to live, gonna heal now. Also, yeah, I guess neutral item, I got a Flicker, which is really nice, because it gives me move speed and also another Dispel, so I can save my Manta if I get cold feeded or whatever. I'm just spamming it now to try to get down the lane quicker, but yeah, another Dispel and also the move speed. The move speed's the bigger thing at this point. I don't really need the lifesteal. I'm like just too tanky already. So the move speed is just really nice in this late game scenario where I don't really want to hold boots anymore. I want to have a more impactful item like a BKB, which I have just now purchased. And I also finished my Mjolnir at some point. I think I finished it before the BKB, to be honest. I think the reason for me finishing it before the BKB, even though I queued up the BKB after I died mid, is because we got that Aegis, but then we took that like really bad fight with the Aegis, so it didn't really matter. Not much happening here, just killing waves. Looks like maybe we're trying to play for another Roshan. We do a smoke here. I don't know why. I have zero idea. Yeah, I remember this Dazzle was making some really bad calls. He wanted me to like hit high ground when Roche can spawn, and he just randomly put this smoke there. Well, we're just playing around Roche. We just want another Aegis. We're like really strong. We have map control. Yeah, I just remember this part being like really tilting because I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't talk that much in my pubs usually, so I don't know if I even said it. But it's so obvious. Like it's a like really high ranked game. Like they should know we're playing around Roche here. They're pinging high ground. They're clicking smokes randomly, and now we're in this really awkward situation where I'm trying to Roche with my like team dead. I mean, they have no chrono, but they're all alive. It's just such an awkward situation, and it didn't have to be. Roche dies so quick if we're just here together hitting it. Oh my, look at how close this is. But I am able to get the Aegis and my ult off, but I mean, it looks like I'm just going to die twice here, to be honest. My Scotty and my... yeah, I had to backpack items to even get the Aegis. Yeah, I left that in to use the refresher. This... oh my... was insanely tilting. It's just such an obvious, easy play to just sit at Roche and kill it together when it spawns. But my team doesn't do that, so now we lost the Aegis. We luckily got the Ags. And I was able to use the refresher shard. But now, yeah, I just don't want to buy back. We have a glyph and it's gonna get refreshed if the tier 3 dies, and we have tier 2s, so their only play here is to go for throne. So there's no real need to buy back. We have lots of spam. So just playing patient here though. My Scotty's not in my inventory because I want to grab the Ags when I spawn. I asked my team to give it to me because it's just an extra stun. It's really nice in late game team fights. Even though we have lots of disables, it's just really a value. And I'll be able to keep saving for buybacks. Yeah, so even though some more crazy shenanigans around the Roshan pit have happened, we are very strong, and I am going to continue playing like I am very strong, by which I mean walking down lanes and trying to kill heroes. So we find another hero, and I'm killing more creep waves, and I'm probably going to walk up onto the high ground while the SF's dead and try and force his buyback. Or maybe not. I remember what happened actually. I was telling my team to go find the Void, so I mean we can rewind it and see what the Void was doing when the SF died. But he probably doesn't want to just sit in his base, but maybe he does, I guess. He is in his base. But initially he's down here, so I wanted them to just go kill the Void instantly after killing the SF. Because they have the stuns to do it. They have Tiny, they have Dazzle, they have Windrunner, they have Pango. I now have Ags and I can connect even though I'm kind of slow. I also have a Blank Dagger for more mobility now. So, yeah, I mean, just look for pickoffs. We don't need to high ground. We have no Aegis now. We can play for another rush. We're in no rush. We just need to take good fights and play slow. So I'm drawing a lot of lines for my team to try and do that. They're just playing very slow on my team though for some reason. So the SF is able to spawn before we really did much. I mean, the Void was sitting in his base, so there wasn't much to do, but like, if he's sitting in his base, he's not farming, and we're farming, so it's still a good trade, even if we don't find him. But we should just be looking for him, and we need to just chain pickoffs, and then we're going to be able to end. Yeah, like we have no Aegis. There's no point to like force things. They have Chrono. If they Chrono me off the buyback, we'd rather have an Aegis. So if they Chrono me, I can just respawn. So just playing really slow and patient for another Roche. Cutting waves with Mantas. Have an insane net worth on me. We're still behind on our other cores like we have been for the entirety of the game. And the enemy supports have also actually passed my supports after their insane high ground pushes and very poor positioning in team fights when we had the Aegis. Just cutting waves, farming, have a bunch of gold, still saving for buyback. 7 slotted now, can buy a moon shard maybe. Don't know what else I would get, to be honest. Yeah, just waiting around Roche. Roche spawns, yeah, but you see, like, look at this. Look how quickly Roche dies with Pangolier Medusa in these late game situations. Like, the enemies can't even react to it. If they use A ult, like, yeah, look, oh wow, they see us Roshing, it's dead. And all the waves are constantly shoved in by my illusions, and like Windrunner and Pangolier's wave clear as well. So that's what they should have done the first time. They're not the first time, I guess the last Roshan, but they did that stuff top, and then I honestly, because I don't know, it's just such a weird situation when they do that stuff top. Maybe I shouldn't have even been hitting Roche alone, because I'm alone. But I mean, I got the Aegis and like denied it all from the enemies, and we were able to get the Ags and the refresher that I used. So it was fine, but like it would have been just so easy for them to just not go high ground without, like, they're not even with their carry. I'm refusing to go high ground because I know it's a bad play. And yeah, but like once again, we're not gonna high ground. It's just so hard. They have Shaker, AA, SF, Void. Like they're gonna do these wraparounds and try and find my backline, and even if they don't, like there's like some burst potential on me, even though I'm crazy tanky. So we just want to play it safe and look for pickoffs. And look, we have vision, so we left our vision to look for pickoffs, and when we don't find anything, we smoked back to our vision. So that's what you want to do in these situations. It's like really common in like high skilled games is to have vision, leave vision, and if you don't find anything, you smoke back to where your vision was placed. But you have to do it very quickly or they're going to deward you. So yeah, I mean, we did it though quickly enough that we were able to find Void. Like we just see all the enemy heroes. It's just so easy to pick our targets in this fight when we see everybody. So we were able to kill the Void and the Shaker. Now we're able to go high ground. And we do. I blank aggressively to try to see if I can get an extra kill before, or whatever, force buybacks, and I was able to force a buyback and get an extra kill. So now they bought back everybody. We're trying to kite a bit. Maybe I'm looking for megas. Team is dying. I have another life. I have a BKB. Oh, so here's a cool thing, I guess, that I can point out. So it didn't work in this case. But something you can do is you can click your BKB with your mouse while using the hotkey, just so you're getting more inputs in on your BKB hotkey. So right here, you can see as I'm spawning, I'm spam clicking my BKB hotkey as well as with my mouse. Look at my cursor here. So with my cursor here, I'm clicking, you can see my cursor on the BKB. I'm spam clicking my BKB with my cursor and with my hotkey to try and get it off before like the chrono affects me. But it didn't work here. So, I normally don't like panic buy backing in a late game, but let's see the situation. So Void has bought back, he has used 2 chronos, so he has 0 chronos. SF has no BKB and has also used his ultimate as well. And Shaker has dieback, I believe. Death Prophet is gonna die but have a buyback. SF is about to die, maybe, with a buyback available. My Tiny has dieback. But, I mean, they have no chronos. I think it's a little hard to say if I needed to, or if I'm over-forcing this buyback, to be honest. But they have no chronos. And, I mean, that's pretty much just it. They have no chrono and no buyback on Void. So if we buy back and kill Void, we just win. And that's what we went for in this game. And, in hindsight, it's really hard to tell. But we do get the Shackle on the Void into my ult. And I saved my W to chain stun after the ult, or I tried to do it to the best of my ability, because I have the Ags now. So he's stunned by my ult, I'm watching the stun bar, and then right as it ends, I W him again. Yeah, it looks like I chain stunned it pretty nicely, to be honest. And now their carries there with no buyback, and if we die on any heroes, we should just commit our buybacks and try and end the game. So, I mean, I didn't do anything too fancy in my opinion. But, like, I see a lot of... Here's a bit scary, I guess, at the end, too, actually. This guy kind of almost killed me. But even if he did, his team has no buybacks. Or does he even? Maybe he even does. Alright, I'm graved. Alright, well, he does, but, like, they're all dead with no buybacks. Even if, like, you know, if they killed me without the SF dying, my team can just wait here, and they can kill every creep wave that spawns, and I'll be able to spawn even without buyback, and then we're going to have mega creeps, and we're probably going to be fine, but, like, they're going to have chronos at that point, but it's just so hard to push into megas. But, I mean, pretty insane how much damage, like, an SF does, even when I have, like, almost double his net worth. But what I was trying to say about the game was, yeah, I didn't do anything too crazy, like, fancy, but, like, a lot of the players I watched, even, like, high 7k, 8k players who are, like, top, you know, 1,000 or top 500 or top 300 even, I've seen a lot of them, like, not do this, like, illusion cutting wave stuff very well. And, I mean, like, cutting the waves the way I did, and then defending my mid tower the way I did, and then not playing passive after things went poorly, and, like, understanding my hero's strength in this game was just, like, really, really good, and made a game that was, like, I don't know, crazy, hard, fairly easy, and fairly simple looking. But, like, yeah, I mean, like, my lane was slightly down because he had kills on my Dazzle, but I never died. But our side lanes just went, like, our top and our mid lane just went horrid, but I played really well, and even, like, at 60 minutes, my cores are behind, but, you know, I never lost my lead, and I was able to pretty much, I mean, like, we had stuns, which is nice, right? Like, that's why I don't like the Wind Runner. I wish he was just, like, a Centaur or an Axe or, like, a Tide Hunter or any more generic stunning hero rather than Wind Runner. But, like, in the late game, the Shackle Shots are nice, but, like, he lost his lane so hard and just had no impact for, like, a large majority of the game. But, I mean, yeah, late game Shackle Shots are obviously going to be nice. So, I mean, we just have, like, stuns. Like, even though they played, like, poorly in their lanes, we have, you know, a heavy stun lineup, so you can't really complain when you have a heavy stun lineup, especially into, like, Void. It's really nice to just have lots of stuns. So, yeah, I mean, there's not too much crazy that happened. I think I played pretty well in this game. It's not the highest average game or anything like that, but we were just very, very far behind and, like, not really supposed to be winning this game. We were down net worth a large majority of the game.